Now, the reason I was in a hurry to make that last video was because I wanted to talk about something much more detrimental to society. The Supreme Court has recently just passed that mandatory insurance is constitutional. They have ruled that it's considered a tax. How wily of them. Now, mind you, as a communist, you would think I would be for this. Well, there is no guarantee that this will mean free healthcare for any individual. This just means that you will be required by law to purchase insurance, and if you don't, you will be fined. And if you do not, they will also have a regulation where they cannot discriminate against you for pre-existing conditions, but that's menial. That is merely to, calm down the population that will be abrupt about this. And they should be abrupt about it, because it's ridiculous. You are forcing people to purchase something, and that is the pinnacle of capitalism. I know a lot of these free market types want to believe that that's not real capitalism, but it is. In order for the market to survive, they use the law to try to cater to them and try to spin things around to favor them. That's naturally what the market is going to do. Whether it be on a federal level or a state level, that is always their ambition. Their ambition is to do whatever they can to secure their profits. And that's what the insurance companies have gotten away with right here. Now, mind you, if there was a public option that was freely available to the public, I would not be upset about this. I would not be even talking about this if there was indeed a public option. But I don't see that. If there is one, please tell me about it, because this affects my life as well as many other people's. Atheist Gamer 100, Geno360, the cat lady, whatever the fuck her name is, they won't be affected because half of them are like 15, and the other half are probably on disability. So, no, this won't affect them. But for average people that are unemployed and just happen to, not be insured, what are we supposed to do? Now, mind you, most people can be on their parents' insurance on somebody else's insurance until the age of 27. So most of the people on YouTube are not going to be affected by this. But for the few of us that are, this is a very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a very serious matter. The fact is that some of us just are not employed, and we cannot physically afford insurance. What are people like us supposed to do? That's all I'm saying here. I'm not saying that this would be a bad legislation if indeed it was able to cater to the poor, but it's not. Mandatory insurance by its nature cannot be for the poor. If it had just simply regulated the insurance companies to not discriminate against people with pre-existing conditions, I would be for that. If it would somehow cheapen the cost of health insurance or any kind of insurance, I would be for that too. I would be for providing everyone with health insurance. I would be for a public option of health insurance. But this idea that people will be forced to purchase insurance to cover their expenses in case they get in an accident or whatever, and the fact that they physically cannot afford it and there is nothing to compensate for the fact that they cannot afford it is insane. It's insane, and a lot of people are not going to be able to have insurance just because you say they have to. Just because you force them to, it's not going to change anything, because they literally cannot afford it. So, time will tell what this will lead to. Time will tell whether or not this will turn around for the better and everyone will have insurance, or if just many people will start being indiscriminately fined because they cannot afford health insurance in the first place. They were up shit creek to begin with, and now they're being punished for it. This is nothing new. This is nothing new in capitalism either, punishing the poor for being poor. I mean, look at all the laws against panhandling. Yes, panhandling isn't exactly hospitable. It's kind of despicable the way that they just stand out there getting free money. I understand that. But then you make laws against soliciting, you make laws against loitering and things like that, and what you're essentially doing is punishing people for being poor. If they are indeed homeless and have nowhere to go, what, you're going to punish them for being fucking homeless? You're going to punish them for not having anywhere to go? That's ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. And there is nothing you can do to justify that. I don't care if in your mind you think everyone just isn't working hard enough, or if they're just drug addicts or whatever. That doesn't matter. What matters here is you have just defended a law that attacks people because they're poor. But then you want to turn around and say that there needs to be poor people. That in a capitalist society, some people have to fail and some people have to succeed. That's just the way it works. But then you punish those that do fail, and the successful do everything in their power to ensure more and more people fail. It's a cannibalistic system. It is a hateful, cannibalistic, violent system, and people are tired of it. So, when I delve deeper into this issue and figure out whether or not a public option will be available, how much it'll cost, if anything, if there will be any kind of preconditions that maybe people that can't afford health insurance can get on to get like a voucher or something, I don't know, something to where they can get health insurance without actually having to pay for it, I'll talk about it. And then I will, do another video reiterating that, yes, if it can give people insurance, and that, there's a difference between mandatory insurance and merely a law insinuating that you need to have insurance, but there will be options available for people that can't afford it, then it won't be a bad thing. But as it stands now, as I understand it right now, it's a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to say here. And if you disagree with me, leave a comment in the comment section, make a video reply, because I would sure like to hear how you justify people being forced to pay for something when there is the possibility that they physically cannot do it. So, I guess that's it.